And so we finally get to actually fly on an airship in one of these games, and would you know it, we're actually flying on the ship that got hijacked back in Chapter 1 of FC. So yeah, that's what Liberal News Issue 2 is going to cover. Obviously, Dalmore's been kicked out. Yeah, shame you couldn't be around to help us in that fight, but you were chasing the Special Ops Division. Yeah, good thing Chloe turned out to secretly be the princess. We really needed that Royal Guard back up. Yeah. You're one of the few people who was kind of out of the loop, other than Estelle, at first. Yeah, we're missing a lot of people. Well, hopefully Tita didn't get too depressed about all of that. I get the feeling we're still gonna see him again, though. Well, I mean, you know, you probably know that since he was in the opening movie, but still. Hey, it looks like we'll actually be meeting her again pretty soon. I believe the term for that is tsundere. And I believe the term for this is really tsundere. It is kind of nice we get a bit of one-on-one time between Estelle and Agate, though. You didn't get a lot of that in the first one. So that's something that you get if you pick this route. So, these segments will occur generally between chapters. You'll get to fly on an airship, and you have to talk to everyone. Huh. Yeah, I wonder about that. They also had some ancient technology on them. I have always liked looking outside the windows on planes. Of course, I would totally, I don't know, probably freak out if I was on one of these when, you know, yeah, you could actually see to the sides. It probably implies these ships are flying pretty slowly, because you would not be able to do that on a really fast flight. Yeah, we do. We all had to walk back in the last game. So, we'll see more of that in the Liberal News. Don't worry. Don was kind of brainwashed at the time. Hijacking airlines is usually not something that he does, so... Also, that's pretty great. I can just imagine them doing that. Yeah, getting on the wrong flight must be hard. But yeah, some of the people here are still working on this ship. The ones we saved back in Chapter 1 of the last one. It's just pretty cool seeing some recognition for doing that. And glad to know that they still consider Estelle to be the one to have the credit for that and not Colonel Richard. Mostly work. So yeah, I like that conversation. Oh, hi there! I know you! Well, that's interesting. We'll know we'll be seeing him if we go to Minoria Village. Ah, yes, that. That. Yeah. That place wasn't open last time, but, yeah. And, as always, in every Japanese game with a fishing side quest, there's always some kind of guardian. So, because you are forced to talk to everyone, you will talk to Lloyd, and talking to him is kind of important. For those who don't know, Lloyd was a fisherman back in the last game, we met a few times. Well, I guess we might see you there, since we're going that way. Oh, you say that now, Estelle. You say that now. Estelle is a Trails series protagonist, in fact a Falcon protagonist in general, and that means she is going to become addicted to fishing. Like it or not, it is her destiny! Yeah, there's actually kind of a thing about Falcon protagonists and fishing. To the point where the personification of the Falcon Company in Hyperdimension Neptunia, she's basically a gender-flipped version of a doll from Ys with the personality of Estelle, and one of her main character traits is that she loves fishing. So, yeah, we actually have a fishing minigame in this one. Sky SC is a much more fleshed out game than the first one, in many, many ways. For one, it has actual side activities, and fishing's one of them. And so, Estelle is forcibly converted to the Fishing Addicts Club. Yeah, obviously not surprising at all. And hey, it's someone else that we saved in the last game. And right before we talk to Agate, since I'm sure actually wait, no, I think we can go down into the engine room. Yeah, let's head down here. There's more for us to see, including the captain, who also recognizes us. Yeah, we kind of got whisked away on that quest to find Professor R. Yeah, funny how things like that work out. By the way, that's actually the river that flows through the general Ruan town. Oh yeah, I'm sure you're all going to be very busy. Well, we kind of had to come down here anyway. Okay, we've saved talking to Agate for last, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and read the second issue of the Liberl News, since it's pretty relevant to where we'll be going. Ruan mayoral election special. 2 candidates, 2 platforms. With the arrest of former Mayor Dalmore, a new mayoral election has come to Ruan. Initially delayed due to the coup d'etat, it has now been officially announced. The 2 nominees are the industrialist Norman and harbour master Portos. We met both of them in the last game. Both candidates have solid support bases and distinct platforms. Which will Ruan citizens entrust with their future? Stay tuned. Promoting tourism, candidate Norman. Owner of the Hotel Blanche and staunch proponent of the tourism industry, the core of his campaign is to invigorate tourism. He believes that tertiary businesses are the future of Ruan, and he has many supporters who agree. Promoting the harbour, candidate Portos. Caretaker of the harbour block and passionate campaigner for the maintenance of the port facilities. His platform centres around the reinvigoration of the harbour industry, has the support of the harbour labourers and sailors. Voter opinion and election decisions. Currently, public opinion is split. The North blocks that run on tourism favour candidate Norman, and the Harbour blocks support Portos. With such clearly defined positions, this election is shaping up to be very divisive. As both camps possess solid blocks of support, it will be a battle of who can cut the deepest into their opponent's voter base. This scenario seems to favour candidate Norman, that there's plenty of time for a turnabout, and it's sure to be a fierce battle to the end. Society, the increasing threat of monsters. According to reports from the Royal Army, monsters across Liberl have been increasingly ferocious, and previously unseen species are roaming the kingdom. The cause of these changes is currently unknown, but theories range from septium vein fluctuations to planetary alignment and even solar abnormalities. The Royal Army is investigating, but caution is advised when travelling between regions. Society, new Chief of Staff selected. The new commander of the Royal Army has been announced as Cassius Bright. Promoted to General, Cassius Bright, formerly Colonel Bright, will be replacing General Morgan as Chief of Staff. Hopes are high for the reconstruction and future of the military under the guidance of this new leader. Foreign Affairs, Pact to be signed in Liberl. The signing ceremony of the Non-Aggression Pact will take place in the Liberl Kingdom. A central location was considered initially, but declined for safety reasons. Technology, new model tactical ordnance. The wave of changes has not only come to the Royal Army but to ordnance as well. The new model tactical ordnance, as shown, were developed by the Epstein Foundation and are spreading quickly. Improvements include the addition of a new slot, and while incompatible with standard quartz, it has been receiving praise from braces and others for the new powerful arts it enables. Factories across the nation are already geared up and eager to support the new model. Okay, once you've talked to everyone on the airship, we have to go back to our seat because we're about to arrive in Ruan. I've kind of missed this music actually, and the Ruan landing port is not somewhere that you see all that often over the course of these games, I find. And so, here we are. The Linda actually reached its destination safely. Also, there's a random person who just kind of stood there up the top door, but anyway. And hey there, Jean. Yes, Khan has been busy pretending to be a Jaeger and trying to shoot us. I guess since we technically beat her, that means her overall record hasn't got any better. And what Gene's saying is actually a good point. This game is a lot freer about side quest deadlines than the first one is. In fact, there are some quests that actually don't even have deadlines at all, apart from the general point of no return at the very, very end of the game. Like, you can actually put off some of the monster extermination requests until pretty much as long as you want. I'm still going to be taking on most of them as they come, though. Also, yeah, Estelle, you would know this if you read the paper, but anyway. Yeah, so someone wish this position was called Governor and not Mayor, but anyway. Meteor Circus, huh? I have a feeling a certain someone might be here. Actually, wait a second, I'm gonna look up what the voting age is in Japan. Oh, okay, so since 2016, they lowered it from 20 to 18. Didn't actually know that before. 18 is the voting age where I live, so yeah. Ah, looks like there is possibly something we'll need to look into. Yeah, good to have someone as brutally honest as Agate on our side. Oh. I mean, if it is a prank, it's a pretty elaborate and far-reaching one. Yeah, we mustn't forget any leads. Like, this could easily lead to something involving the society. I like how she at least admits it, though. Yeah, anything even remotely suspicious, we should definitely check up on it. Remember, they're not doing anything particularly drastic right now. They're just keeping to the shadows, so maybe something like this is even more likely to be them. And also, Agate's got a pretty good point here. Okay, all the way down there. Well, that one doesn't even require us to leave town. Yeah, it looks like Estelle actually had a hand in turning them around. Though she's a little oblivious to that. Hey, we get to go back there! It'd be nice to check up on how the kids are going. Well, that certainly happened quickly. Then again, I'm sure they got a lot of compensation when it was found out that their orphanage was destroyed due to criminal activity. And who knows, we might even meet Chloe over there, since she often frequents that place. So yeah, that's the main story quest of this chapter, but you can go ahead and do side quests as much as you want until you take that on. We have a few more quests, and yep, they're explaining how quests work again. They're pretty much exactly the same as they were in the first game. Some quests have additional things that you can do that give you extra BP or bracer points, which affects your ranking, and the higher your bracer rank, the better the reward you'll be getting. Like I said though, the deadlines on these quests are nowhere near as harsh as they were in the first game. And yeah, we do need to take care of that one first. But before that, let's quickly check the board here. We have Come Ingredient Hunters, Orvid Co. Limited, oh joy. So this one's actually interesting. You have until the end of this chapter to do this, and you don't even need to talk to Orvid, like, at any point to start this one. Now this one, we technically can complete this quest now, but you really, really don't want to. Put this off until later in the chapter. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. As for these, by term long, I'm pretty sure these ones can be done at any point in the entire game. But I'm going to take care of them on the way to Minoria Village, because yeah, they're both on the way there. Now, one thing that I really like about the guild postings for monster quests is they actually give you a bit of a hint as to the type of monster you'll be fighting now, so you can be adequately prepared. But, as we're in Ruan, I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of things. So first thing I'm going to do is head down to the southern block. And we can see people, basically barking their corners. We can even see election posters put up. Actually, we should probably go here anyway. Because, as usual, we have some dishes to try. Sea breeze soup. As well as prime salmon grill. Gonna go ahead and eat that immediately to get the recipe. And this is the kinda unofficial, well, closest thing they've got, office of Portos' election campaign. Yeah, he has a bit of a shabby place, but I guess this is the best way to get more funding for the harbour. He definitely seems like the underdog candidate, though. So, while I'm over here, if we try and head towards the warehouse where the ravens are, we'll meet Lloyd on the way. And I actually wanted to do this first. I'm not actually going to be going to do the Raven stuff right now. And suddenly Estelle's really enthusiastic about fishing. Yeah, anything to put off investigating the ghost sightings. This is actually kind of important, because this is going to be our real introduction to how to fish. And so, here we are, near this crane. There's a rippling spot in the water here. That indicates a fishing spot. It's kind of funny because as of recording this, Pokemon Sword and Shield actually does fishing spots in a very similar way. I like that they actually give you the fishing rod from the start of that game. And we get this word that I find it very hard to pronounce. It's a type of worm, basically. A type of aquatic worm. It's pretty much the most basic of bait in this game. So, yeah, all fishing baits cannot be bought in most stores, and in order to unlock the one store that sells baits, you have to do a lot of fishing in the first place. But it can get dropped from monsters, and sometimes you'll fish up certain creatures that can themselves be used as baits. There are some particularly big fish that require you to use other fish as bait. Fishing's a bit more in-depth than it was in the first game. Well, I mean, the first game all it was just a dialogue tree you only had a chance to do once in the entire game. But here it's actually been upgraded to a legitimate side activity, basically a minigame. So, let's go ahead and check out this spot. Now, I actually like to save before I go fishing. Because if you fail, you lose the bait, and bait's kind of hard to come by, as he said. Also, the timing on fishing is actually surprisingly tight in this game. I'm going to actually go quiet for a bit and show you what I mean. So, you choose which rod you want to use. There's only one rod we have at the moment. And what bait we'd like to use. Different rods can use different types of bait, and different types of bait will get you different types of fish. It's actually kind of complicated. Okay, yeah, see, so I failed at that already. You pretty much have to press X even like a few milliseconds before the exclamation mark appears. The timing is incredibly insane at this. So, forgive me if I fail this a few times. I've got to go really, really quiet here. Yeah, see, that was way too late. I actually prefer to use the spacebar rather than the PlayStation controller, I just realized. But that gets us a fish. And yeah, this is a fish that we can also use as bait, but not with this rod. I'm not wondering why they'd bother to give us fish that we can't use with this rod, but that's because we actually have access to our second fishing rod very soon. Also, hi, Estelle merged with Agate there. Let me try this one more time. Oh, wow, that was quick. Yeah, this takes a lot of practice, and the timing is incredibly tight. There we go. Every rod also has a different interval that's, like a different lenience interval for pressing the action button. They're all less than a second, but some rods have slightly quicker times or shorter times. Yeah, it can get complicated, and oftentimes, like, there's a rod later in the game that is compatible with every type of bait, but it's actually not the best rod in the game because its timing window is a lot tighter than some of the other less general and more specialized rods. So our next stop is in here. Yeah, we remember this guy. Dean's brother. Oh yeah, and they got their butts totally handed to them because I got stupidly lucky with the Deathblow quartz. I completely forgot they're not immune to instant death. That was actually pretty great. Anyway, the main reason I wanted to come here is to grab Azalea Kiss. This is one of the best healing items we have access to at this point in the game. 1500 HP and cures KO. I can't exactly get a lot of them, but I may as well get as many as I can. And, why not convert a few Seepith, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and convert some of that. Just so I can get a few more. I'm gonna save myself a little bit of mirror, though, because I'll need it when we head upstairs. Before I do that, though, let's go ahead and get the recipe in our log. Actually, no, let's save those, because, again, they're great healing items. So, the reason why I came here is because there's something new for us upstairs. Welcome to the casino. Oh, boy. I don't envy the teachers at Genis Royal Academy right now, because they're going to have to stop their students going here in their break time. So, at the casino, you can buy casino medals. 5 mirror for 1 medal. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, well, let's start with, actually we can get quite a few. I forgot how good the exchange rate was. Let's go ahead and get 50 casino medals. And you can eventually exchange these casino medals for prizes, such as this, which we're going to need, Marine Star, which we'll definitely be able to use, as well as a few accessories that, honestly, I think you're better off buying those from stores. But I'm going to be gambling until I get both of these, so 300 chips is my target. Also, I believe, let me just check this. Yeah, we can actually play roulette. No. You speak of what you tell people so they'll gamble all their money and make you lots of money. So, yeah, roulette, I don't usually play the roulette very much in this game. It's not entirely all that lucrative, but let's just go ahead and do this. I guess there's really not, I don't know, like, much to explain here. It's pretty standard roulette. Yeah, let's see, I guess I can go for this for like a 50% chance of winning. Yeah, you can actually put different amounts of chips on different things. Like, I could, you know, put 1 chip on 17 black specifically, but more chips on just the 50% shot of winning. There you go, you have to like start to make the wheel spin. 8 black. Well, we won a little bit. Made a very slight profit. Let's cut our losses. Like I said, roulette's... There's not really a lot to explain with roulette, and I personally don't like playing it all that much. So, 1 medal slots. This is pretty standard slot machine. Really not that much of an explanation. You can bet up to 5, and then press this blue button to make the reel spin. And I got cherries. And a little bit more, but yeah, that just maybe break even. This here is the 10 medal slots, so, no, I don't think I'll do that. Yeah, I don't really like playing the slots either. Definitely not all that lucrative, and if you're going for achievements, you actually don't need to play the roulette or the slots. This is poker. That's my favorite one, so I'll leave that for last. And here's blackjack. So, blackjack, again, it works basically like the game does in real life. Basically, you get dealt cards. Your goal is to be as close to 21 as possible without actually going over 21, which is called busting. And your goal is to do better than the dealer. I believe the face cards are worth 10, and an ace is worth either 1 or 11, depending on which will get you closer to 21. And this one actually does have some special combinations. Pure blackjack, ace of spades and a jack of spades. Well, yeah, good luck getting that one. And, yeah, if you somehow get super lucky and get that, there's an extra bonus. Also, good luck going for this one. I do not recommend going for this. This requires an absurd amount of luck to do. Basically, you have to get 6 incredibly low cards. Oh, and, yeah, 250 times initial bet. Again, good luck getting that. In fact, I'm not entirely sure what the exact odds are on that. Sometimes, I actually like probability. It's one of the few parts of mathematics that I was actually decent at. Okay, so just any kind of win is 2 times the bet. Let's go ahead and just play a bit of blackjack. Oh, hey, we've already got halfway to blackjack, so may as well bet a little bit. So we can see what the dealer's got there. Let's see. No, I'm not betting everything. I'm not going all in this early. How about we go for 20? Okay, that's 19. I don't think I'm going to hit that because the chances of going over 21 there are pretty high. And the chances of the dealer beating this are fairly low, I think. Double down means that you get 1 additional card, and that's it. You're forced to stand, but you get double your bet if you win. But I'm going to go and just stand with this. Hey, dealer busted. No, I guess I'll keep playing. 8, okay, let's see. Not gonna bet 20 on this, I'm only gonna go ahead and, bet 5. Ooh, no, I'll play that safe. And, yep, they beat me. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop. So, here is the one that I actually personally enjoy the most. This is kind of a unique variant of poker. It's kind of solitaire poker, I'll just say. So, it's best to explain by doing. So, you start by laying down 1 to 10 medals. You can only bet up to 10 at a time. Then you get dealt a hand of 5 cards. I've got a pair of 5s here. But I could potentially go for a straight, but I don't think I'll do that. Yeah, I'd need to get pretty lucky for that. So, when you're selecting cards here, you're actually selecting which cards you want to keep, not which cards you want to swap. I made that mistake in an earlier playthrough. So let's swap out the rest. This at least guarantees me a pair, and I've got 1 pair. So as you can see at the side of the screen there, your goal is to basically keep playing and get as many winning hands in a row as possible. If you get nothing, you lose everything. So it's sort of a double or nothing kind of deal. And speaking of which, I have a very high chance of failing at this one miserably, because I don't really have even the makings of a pair. I may as well just keep these 2. I need a king or a queen. Come on, king or a queen. And fail. So as you can see, if you don't get any pairs, you lose everything. But really, with a bare minimum bet of 10, you're not really standing to lose all that much. I used to consider myself pretty decent at the poker minigame from Super Mario 64 DS, so this is kind of similar in a way. Okay, so at this rate I should probably just cut my losses. No, hey, 3 of a kind, nice. Finally got something better than 1 pair. Oh, I could definitely lose this if I'm not careful. Yeah, that's the problem with this. It's all about knowing when to stay, when to back down. I just lucked out and got a pair, okay. I am definitely going to keep that. Okay, so I have enough casino medals to get everything I want, so let's go ahead and do this. While I'm here, I guess I could talk about the whole casino medals thing. So I've noticed that in a lot of games, in a lot of video games that have gambling mini-games, and I guess, because I don't really intend to show off that much else in this part, this is mostly going to be a mini-games episode, so I guess I can talk about this while I'm playing a little bit more poker. A lot of, particularly JRPGs that have, like, gambling mechanics, it's always you have to buy a particular, like, casino-specific currency, like coins or chips or things like that, and you exchange those for prizes. And I think that has its roots in how gambling actually works in Japan, because gambling for real money in Japan is technically illegal, but of course, certain outlets manage to loophole their way out of that by letting you pay for, again, like a casino-specific currency, like pachinko balls or chips or things like that, and have you just win more of that currency, but then provide a separate establishment nearby where you can exchange that currency for real money or other prizes of monetary value. And I think the Yakuza actually runs a lot of those. So the original Game Corner in Pokemon Red and Blue, that was okay. The original Game Corner in Pokemon Red and Blue is actually a good example of that. So yeah, loopholes! And while I'm here, let's talk about something incredibly annoying about this casino. So, I mentioned the Gambler Jack achievement. I mentioned that there's something about it that is a pain and means that I'm probably not going to get that achievement for this playthrough. That something is, getting all of the Gambler Jacks is not the only thing you have to do to get the Rambling Gambler achievements. You have to get all of the Gambler Jacks, and you need to get a 21 in Blackjack, which is not too hard. As well as a 4 of a kind in this poker game. So, if you're not familiar with poker, you might think, oh, 4 of a kind, that's fine, that's easy, right? No, Google poker odds. Now, I'm not entirely sure of the exact odds on this particular variant of poker, where you get a hand of 5 cards and you get to exchange any number of them. That complicates the chances quite a bit. But, the odds of getting a 4 of a kind in just being dealt 5 cards normally are about 1 in 1,000. So, yeah, I think it's actually even worse than 1 in 1,000. So, yeah, this achievement, you've basically got a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting it. At minimum. I think it's, like, overall odds are even worse than 1 in 1,000. So, I hate this achievement. This achievement is basically just pure luck. Just play the poker game for hours and hours and hours and hope you get lucky. I went for this achievement on my first playthrough. I played virtual poker for literal hours and I did not get a 4 of a kind, ever. If I somehow manage to get a 4 of a kind during this playthrough, well then, that will be a thing that happens. But I highly doubt it. So, I might end up having to cheat for this achievement, just so I can show the all achievements achievement at the end of the game, because seriously, like, when it's an achievement that comes down to pure luck and that it's about a 1 in 1,000 chance, I'm totally okay with cheating for achievements like that. So, yeah, that's Rambling Gambler. That's how that achievement works. Oh, that actually, wow, was that 1 card off of a Royal Flush? Anyway, that's kind of gambler's fallacy. The chances of getting that 1 card that you need are stupidly low. But anyway, that's the casino. It's just a kind of a, I don't know, a minigame you can play when you have access to Ruan, which is like now and very few other times. So if you want to play that gambling game, you might want to go ahead and do that now. Oh, hey, something that I totally forgot to do is check out Agate's initial quartz setup. You know what? I think I'll actually do that next time. Next time, we will go around Ruin a little bit, do a few side quests, investigate the Ravens, and see what's been going on in this region. So I'll see you all then.